Damn, Blonde is not receiving the rave reception I predicted it was, and all I have to say to the critics is, I disagree big time. Blonde, directed by Andrew Dominic and was released on Netflix literally yesterday. Blonde tells the story. It is the biopic of one of the greatest Hollywood icons, Marilyn Monroe, or Norma Jean, her real name, played by the always wonderful Ana de Armas, and just shows the sheer hardship of not only her career but her personal life. Now, Blonde was by far my most anticipated September movie, as I mean, you all know how huge a crush I have on Ana de Armas. She's not only one of the most gorgeous humans alive, but she's also an astonishing actress, capable of anything. As so, uh, I can't see anybody else playing Marilyn Monroe. And a movie about Marilyn Monroe was always going to interest me, as I have seen clips of her classic movies, but in terms of her personal life, I know nothing about that. So uh, I was so curious to find out the truth, and a movie about Marilyn Monroe was always going to be controversially received. One does not simply make a Marilyn Monroe movie without offending some die-hard Marilyn Monroe fans. But it's rather disheartening to see that this movie has been well mauled by critics. So, like, some are going as far as calling it one of the worst and most expository and pretentious movies to release this year. So if you came here today expecting me to rant about how disrespectful and gross this movie is, prepare for disappointment, because I ain't with the critics here, but I'm gonna say it. I absolutely loved Blonde. Holy shit, this movie was moving and beautiful. I could not have asked for a more satisfying Marilyn Monroe movie, and I'm not the only one who defends it. So my good friends, Frozen 2 fan and Ollie Pajak, also agree this is a misunderstood, underrated masterpiece, and it is a darn right shame that this movie was not released in cinemas. Come on. I'm sick of streaming. Taking over. Too many movies have gone to streaming this year. I'm going to rant about that. But back to Blonde itself. Ana de Armas, delivers the most electrifying performance of 2022 by any actor, and this is her greatest performance in anything she's ever done. Yes, surpassing even Paloma in No Time to Die. In that movie, she was the best part, but she was just in one scene in 15 minutes. Here, she's in the entire film. She has truly outdone herself as a Norma Jean slash Marilyn Monroe, and completely goes out of her comfort zone, and she acts her heart out in the crying scenes especially. And even though she's Cuban and she was a little unsure if she could pull off Marilyn's accent, but she pulls it off with flying colors. Mama, it's me, Norma Jean. You can see she did her homework down to a freaking T on researching Marilyn for this role, and she makes you beyond a sympathizer with everything that Marilyn went through. That she makes you realize that Marilyn, was such a lovely woman, and she didn't deserve the hard life that she has, and she deserves so much better. I mean, she uh, well was domestically abused by her mother, who still loved her, but she just didn't know how to look after her, and she never got to meet her father, who died before she ever had the chance, and her mother kind of became mentally unstable after the father just left them, and the mother was put into a mental hospital, and I mean, it's just awful that she doesn't even remember or recognize her own daughter when Marilyn went to visit her there, and she married like well four husbands in her time and was raped and sexually abused at times against her will, and she got pregnant like 2 to 3 times, but was sadly never able to have any children. Like when she has an abortion with her first child, just worried sick that the illness that her mother had will be passed on to her child. But by the time she changes her mind, it's too late. So you go, oh, give this poor woman a break. This is seriously the most harrowing movie that I have watched all year. This is no easy watch. It is 12 years a slave intense, trust me. I know some have said that Marilyn's mother's the most, unlikable character in the film, but I beg to differ. I would say her second husband is the biggest prick here. Yes, Marilyn's mother did attempt to drown Marilyn in the bath when she was just a young girl, which is totally uncalled for, sure. But her second husband, I mean, he was a fucking control freak. He would literally beat her when she was just out there doing her job, posing. He be- beats her up for that. Well, thank God she divorced him, but at least she found some happiness towards the third act when she married Adrian Brody's character. But even that happiness was short-lived when she goes to the beach to meet some of Adrian Brody's friends, but then trips and then miscarriages. So that's why I seriously don't get the hate for this movie at all, and why people have a problem with it when I think Aaron Andrew Dominic was right to make this movie as ballsy as can be. Marilyn Monroe's life was dark, and without the sex and nude scenes, then this movie would have played it way too safe. And thank God that Andrew Dominic did not sugarcoat Marilyn's life. This is the first NC-17 rated movie that I am reviewing on my channel. But with the number of complaints, there weren't as many sex scenes as I thought there would be. I mean, it's not like this is a pornography film. It's not like in the 50 Shades trilogy where the sex scenes were there to torture us. No, these sex scenes were just being accurate to Marilyn Monroe's real life story, and they were there to help us, feel sorry for her. So they served a real purpose. So saying this movie is the next 50 Shades is going way too far. I mean, Blonde and 50 Shades couldn't be more different movies. They are like chalk and cheese. And even though this is the longest movie I've watched in 2022 as a epic 2 hours and 50 minutes, I mean, but that because there's never a single dull moment, and I never wanted to stop watching. Andrew Dominic nailed the pacing, and even the soundtrack. Props to the composer because the soundtrack is extremely moody and haunting. The music especially helps you wanted to just be there to hug Marilyn when her life is really hitting rock bottom. I know some find it odd that she constantly calls her husband's daddy in this movie, but she has never had a father, so she's so eager to meet her father, and she's I think she's calling them daddy because they are the father of because they are the father of her unborn children that she hoped to have, and uh, and half of this movie is shot in black and white and the other half in color, which makes total sense for a Marilyn Monroe biopic because, well, half of her movies were in black and white and others were in color. And that's not the only, well, astonishing visual storytelling in Blonde. There's also shots of the unborn baby in her belly, which are beautiful. And by the third act, when we get to 1962, or when yeah, Marilyn just emotionally collapses from all she's been through, that's when it turns into a horror movie. When she's forced to give the president a blowjob, and you can see how much she hates it, and and then she has a nightmare that she's just miscarriaged again, and she gets out of bed naked and blood is coming out of her eyes, and then in the final scene where she reads the final letter, who she initially thought were from her father, but turns out they were from Charlie Chaplin's son, who has just died the entire time, and he even gives her back her tiger toy. And she does not take that revelation well at all, to the point where she overdoses herself and just uh, lies on her bed, and sees a vision of her father in heaven. And I was just weeping at that ending. It was so bleak, and yeah, you're you're just like, wow. Has any other biopic made me cry, or has gone this far, or has taken this many risks as Blonde has? And I don't think there has been. Andrew Dominic and Anna de Armas, thank you both for not holding back with this movie. And you have made what is one of my top three favorite movies of 2022, and a a easy Oscar contender. If this gets snubbed at the Academy Awards, and if Anna de Armas gets snubbed, then that will be fucking outrageous. I mean, at least give Anna de Armas a Best Actress, please. She deserves it. I mean, she's already nominated at My Harry Awards 2023 for Best Actress. So overall, guys, you are free to see Blonde how you want to see it. If you are with the critics, that's totally fine. Or if you're with its defenders, like me, then that's totally fine. But I'm somebody who thinks this movie honors Marilyn Monroe's life and not disrespects it. And this is, well, without a doubt, the best biopic movie I have ever seen in my entire life. Yes, better than Bohemian Rhapsody, better than Rocket Man, better than Judy. In fact, it has a lot of similarities to the 2019 Judy. It's just bolder and darker, and it's certainly better than Elvis.
I give Blonde 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever.
So yeah, in the future, I really hope to see more glowing reviews in defense of Blonde. You you know, like how some movies, well, uh, get panned at the time, but over time they gradually get a better reception. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Blonde? Are you with me and think it's the most underrated gem of 2022, or are you with the majority and just found it way too grotesque and disgusting? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.